He wants to make 9/11 a national federal holiday. But for whatever reason, it continues to go nowhere in Congress. To me, something like this makes a whole lot of sense. Every year we mark this anniversary. It is so important. And why Congress can't get behind something like this is a question that I continue to ask.
Yeah, let's welcome in New York Congressman Anthony D'Esposito. Good to see you this morning, Congressman. So I know you reintroduced this bill after it was originally brought to the House floor in March of last year. Why is this bill not taking shape? Why is it not moving forward? Because for us, it seems like a no-brainer.
One would think it's common sense. And yeah, I joined my fellow New Yorker, Mr. Lawler, months back in introducing this bill to call for 9/11 to be a national holiday. And I think it's important now more than ever. I think the fact is that, for me, as someone who took an oath as an NYPD cop and then a detective, us first responders, when we take our oaths, we also make a promise in our heart to never forget. And there is no question that, unfortunately, throughout this country, people do forget. It's not just about a hashtag. It's not just about a Facebook post. It's not just about wearing some sort of bracelet that says never forget. It's about actually living out the idea of never forgetting those and making sure that we help those who are the survivors. And the way I look at it, and I spoke on the floor of the House last night for over almost 45 minutes with regards to the 9/11 healthcare funding. I mean, the fact that I had two of my constituents, Ray Pfeiffer, who was an FDNY hero, and Lou Alvarez, who was an NYPD hero. Think about it. In the last days of their lives, they spent on Capitol Hill. They spent on Capitol Hill fighting for funding that, quite frankly, these men and women deserve. And there should be, I hear from colleagues, it seems like there's less and less people coming to Capitol Hill to advocate for this funding. Well, there's less and less people because they're dying. And now it's our job to not only make sure that this is a federal holiday, and I think making it a holiday does a couple of things. It reminds us that we need to continue to fully fund this health care bill. And secondly, it educates our youth. I mean, the people who are graduating high school and entering college weren't even alive on 9/11. They should know what happened that day. Yeah. They should know how it happened. And probably most important, they should know who did it to us, who wanted to attack our way of life here in the United States of America.
Yeah, Al-Qaeda terrorists, Hamas, with what's happening right now in Israel, also terrorists. Important to remember, these are terrorist organizations. Kids that are graduating college right now are learning about 9/11 as a historic event because it happened 23 years ago. They were not born, to your point. When I look at our current list of federal holidays, we know the obvious ones, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day. More recent federal holiday that Congress had no problem getting behind was Juneteenth. You look at other federal holidays, Washington's birthday, Martin Luther King Jr., his birthday. I don't understand why something like this, 23 years later, is not taken more seriously on both sides of the aisle. Can you talk about that? To me, this is an absolute no-brainer.
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And actually, just 2 days ago, I was down at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum with a group of bipartisan colleagues from the Homeland Security Committee and former Congressman Pete King. You hear the stories from Congressman King about the days following 9/11 and obviously the fights that he's had. And for far too long, this issue, the 9/11 issue, has been a New York, New Jersey, Northeast issue. This is not a Democrat issue. It's not a Republican issue. This is a United States of America issue. It was the greatest attack on our soil, and there's absolutely no price that you can put on making this a national holiday. And people have said, well, it's going to be another day off. It's going to be a day for car sales and mattress sales. No, that's not what this is about. This is about making sure that people who have off of work and school, why our post offices, why our schools are closed, why? Because people died, because our nation was attacked, because we need to know who attacked us, the terrorists that did it, and we need to honor and remember those who fell that day and continue to fall. You look at the NYPD and the FDNY, they've now reached numbers where more people have died in the last 23 years than they did that day. This is never going to end. People, unfortunately, are going to continue to die. We need to honor their memory. We need to honor that day to make sure that our youth never forget exactly what 9/11 is about. It not only is about remembering and reflecting, it's also about avoiding it happening again, because the more they know, the more that they will understand that there are adversaries around this world who want to cause harm to the United States of America.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Congressman Anthony D'Esposito, thank you so much for joining us this morning.